Hello, and welcome to the podcast where everyone's a celebrity. The Everyone's a Celebrity podcast. Thank you for listening.
Welcome at that what?
I was like, did you forget the intro?
No, I was trying to get it ready.
The way it was done back then, that shit was malicious.
Oh, yeah.
They were coming for my throat. As soon as I got off the plane, they were gunning for me. Like,
oh my God.
Shout out the parents who actually went out and took their kids to band at 5 a.m.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me? 5 a.m.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Everyone's a Celebrity, the podcast show where everyone's a celebrity. Thank you for listening. In this episode, John Wilson, professional healthcare advisor, passionate hobby astronomer, and beloved friend and brother. John shares with us his story of growing up in Ghana, his experience coming to American schools, and a bit about his work history. He's going to tell us about what it's like being a healthcare advisor and some upcoming news in the industry you might want to hear. Without further ado, Mr. John Wilson.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Everyone's a Celebrity, and today on the show we have...
John Wilson.
All right, and John Wilson is a healthcare advisor, professional healthcare advisor. John is actually a very dear and close personal friend of mine. We've known each other for many years, went to high school together. Fun fact, me and John actually went to prom together. We can get into can get into that story later, but so John was my high school prom date, one of the best men at my wedding, so me and John we've been through a lot together. And so John's going to be here today telling you a little bit about his story, growing up overseas, coming here, and what that transition was like. Kind of finding his way as a young professional and how he eventually grew into the healthcare industry and what kind of advice and information that he has with for us with that. So, John, how you doing, buddy? How you been?
I'm good. It's been a great day. Been good. Just, same thing, different day.
Nice.
Another day, another ulcer.
I feel it. I definitely feel that. And so how old are you now, John?
27.
27. When are you gonna be 28?
Next year in April.
Next year? All right. You think I would? Well, I kind of do remember that.
What?
Your birthday, yes. But just for the people listening, we'll say. And so John actually was not born here in Texas, in the great state of Texas. John was actually from Ghana, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And so, how about you tell us a little bit about what Ghana is like? Because I have done a little bit of, YouTube research and everything, but I really don't know a whole lot about like the culture and what makes Ghana special in the area and everything. So, can you tell us a little bit about where you're from and what you remember? How long were you there for?
Until I was 10.
10? Okay.
Yeah. Kind of went back and forth between Nigeria and Ghana for a while.
Okay.
And then we stayed in Ghana it was more like, Ghana 75% of the time, and then went to school in Nigeria. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, first things first, you know how like in movies there's the scene in Mexico, and then they put the filter on? And it's like super yellow.
Yeah, piss filter.
Yeah. That's like what? Like it's like that going to Ghana, not the yellow, but it's like it's so clear. Like I feel like the colors are more vibrant, honestly.
Just with everything.
Just with everything. It might just be me like going back home, now and being like, oh wow, I'm so excited to be here, just flooded with endorphins and all of that.
Yeah.
But no, I honestly think it's just a whole different vibe. You've seen everything over and over for the last 17 years for me, so it's like going to a whole different country, and people who travel probably understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that translates because like it is even kind of that shows itself in like the clothes that you guys wear traditionally and It seems like there's a lot of like South American, African cultures that really have like a big appreciation for bright, beautiful colors, and I'm sure that a lot of the stuff that you guys use for your colors is like more natural stuff that you're getting from like, I don't know, just
probably
like
back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
like stuff that you're actually making like real dyes from.
Yeah.
That's, you know, not synthetic and all that.
Back in the day, but I'm sure now it's like, you know, the same dyes you have here,
Right.
you're gonna have over there. It's very modern over there, you know. They have malls and all types of stuff. I went to the mall.
Right.
It was just as expensive as the stuff here, so I mean, there's no difference. And I mean, even with the currency exchange, the stuff is the same.
Yeah.
You know, so it was the exact same price.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So it's just as modern. But I did grow up in a small village off of the coast.
Oh.
So, yeah, that was fun. Right next to the beach. So, yeah.
Was
we
it-
weren't ever allowed to go.
Oh, okay.
No.
Just because your mom didn't want you drowning or
Yep,
something?
exactly.
Understandable.
Yeah,
Understandable.
we lost a couple of cousins.
Oh.
And so, you know, from there she was like, okay, that's not happening to my kids, so they're not allowed over there.
Yeah, I can respect that. I'm
Yeah.
personally terrified of the ocean, so I get it.
Back then I did not get it. You know, I was like, why can I not go?
Yeah.
I want to go. It's calling my name. That was probably what she wanted not to happen.
Yeah, for real. Calling your name a little too hard.
Yeah.
Well, so did you guys have like a specifically like coastal culture or anything like that depended on like fish or anything like that?
I mean, we ate fish all the time. My grandmother, who we stayed with whenever we were there, chickens, goats. You know, we ate all of that stuff. Goats were usually like Christmas time, though. So,
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, fish all the time.
Okay. Do you remember your the region that you are like, or like what's the region's name rather?
So I grew up in Adan, but my parents have a house in Accra, which is the capital.
Oh.
Adan is just the Adanfo is the name of the actual village that I grew up in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And so how did going to school in Nigeria translate? Did you guys, was that like a particularly difficult commute?
So, yo, hell yeah.
I was like, it's going to a whole new
two
country.
countries away.
Yeah.
You know? It's basically like driving from one end of Texas to the other side.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And you did that every day?
No.
Oh.
So yeah, we lived in Nigeria for my dad's job. Right. So like through the school year, we would be in Nigeria. We'd go to school in Nigeria. You know, we'd live there. We were there. But then it was like a summer home, but it was more like, you know, dropping them off in the village while my mom took care of her business.
Oh, okay.
And then, you know, staying with the grandmas and cousins and everything, you know, just growing up with everybody in the village. Just, it was fun. It was a
Okay.
lot of fun.
Nice.
But yeah, that's how that worked. It would be like, you know, like summer vacation, we go to Ghana, we stay in Ghana, and then we come back just for the school year. And then we go right
okay.
back for winter, you know, come back, just back and forth,
Okay.
which isn't too bad. I mean, we drove every single time. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was kind of my favorite part, was driving.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Just a lot of really cool stuff to see.
Oh yeah. And like, you're driving through the jungle.
Oh, okay.
Basically, yeah. I mean, it's not like the roads back then weren't all paved, you know. You're going off-road sometimes, trying to get from one country to the other. So it's like, it's really
fun.
fun. It
Yeah.
is.
It's like a little adventure every time.
It was not fun at night. Like,
It sounds scary.
Yeah, no.
Was it really
would be.
loud or really quiet?
It was loud because the cars, you know, they're old cars. The cars that we had then were probably like 10 years older.
Yeah.
You know, that had been shipped from here.
Oh, okay.
You know, so it was really loud. The cars are just
Yeah.
shaking the whole time, you know. And then you're a kid and it's dark and you're in the middle of a jungle.
Yeah.
Basically,
You
I
know
mean,
what's
there's
gonna
a
happen.
road, you know, there's a dirt road, but I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
You know, the only two adults is the driver and my mom, and then it's me, my sister, and I even remember like before Joseph was born, so I was like 2, 3.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds particularly scary for that age.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay. Well, was there any kind of like tensions, I guess, from you coming from Ghana, going over to Nigeria to go to school? Was that on people's minds?
Not back then.
Not back then.
You know, all of the stuff that you see nowadays about Nigeria being so unsafe, it wasn't back then. And there's still parts of it now that aren't like that. You know, you're only gonna hear about all of the crap that happens, not all of the other stuff going on. Jennifer went over there a couple times now. She's got friends there, my sister.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it's not all bad.
Right.
You know, even now, but it does get bad.
So your response is actually that kind of reminds me of the next point I was going to ask, which is your transition to coming to America, coming to American schools. And I know that in personal conversation you told me about how difficult that is, and my own brother coming from Germany, my older brother, he has told me about just the rough transition of coming to America and go, especially in elementary school, and trying to fit in with elementary school kids in America and stuff. But it sounds like you expect people to talk like negatively about Africa a lot of times, and I know a lot of people. I mean, I expect people to talk negatively about it. You know what I mean? Just being a black kid growing up in America and stuff. So, is that something that you experienced a lot of, in particular, when you were here? Like, when you first got here?
For sure. Yeah, it was really hard, honestly. You know, we did things a lot. It was so different, and especially the way that I grew up, because it's like I grew up in the village, you know, straight village,
Right.
you know, and so like coming to America, that was crazy. You know, yeah, we visited when we were, you know, really little kids, but we didn't go to school. You know, we weren't thrown out there to fend for ourselves with the other kids who have been here for their whole lives, don't know nothing about anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here, you know, world traveler.
Yeah.
Like, why are you being so mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like, I don't even understand. I'm just trying to fit in, just trying to, you know, really learn everything that you already know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know nothing about states. What's a state? I know that there's a bunch of countries in Africa. You know, and then it's just stuff like that. And then, of course, my dad taught me how to speak English, so there wasn't too much of a problem with that. But definitely, you know, speaking broken English, speaking Adan, and English, you know, just all of the languages.
Even an accent was enough? Or?
No, I didn't even have an accent, but it was just like, still like learning English the way that it was taught here, you know?
Yeah.
So different, so different.
Okay. And so were you like particularly like picked on as a result of that, or like made fun of from coming from Africa, or was it more just the adjustment? Oh,
a lot.
Yeah.
A lot, yeah.
What kind of stuff would people even make fun of you about? Like just saying that you come from like a mud hut and all this stuff? And
Yeah, pretty much, you know. You know, like I was proud to be from Ghana, so you know, it was something that I, you know, identified with.
Yeah.
You know, so when someone's like, introduce yourself to the class, you know, I'm like, hey guys, new to Texas, just came from Ghana, you know, and they're like, they start laughing, you know, and that was pretty much the start of it, you know.
Oh man.
But I mean, knowing now what I know, like, it's just ignorance. It's just kids being kids, ignorance. You know, they don't know what they're even laughing about. They're just laughing to laugh because they probably heard someone in their life laugh when someone said something like that. So
exactly, yeah, and
a lot of the people who actually did make fun of me, like later on when I seen them, like in real life, you know, just anywhere really.
Yeah.
I've had a couple people like apologize and be like, "Hey man, I'm sorry about that. I really didn't
That's cool.
know what I was even saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I even did that. Like, I was just a dumb kid. You know, forgive them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And that really reminds me just of the crux of like what my older brother would be telling me, is because like it wasn't even that he was like necessarily like picked on, from my understanding, right? Like it wasn't necessarily that he was like picked on or bullied. It's just that like the big adjustment was that it was so Americans' kids are so mean, like compared to so much around the country. Like the way that we show affection and stuff even is like so mean. And you know, I've had times where I've like had almost like a, you know, not an out of body experience or whatever, but I've just had a time to sit back and be like, God, like even with like best friends, like we're such freaking jerks to each other all the time. But it's like just a way, I guess it's like a cultural thing, and it can be a big shock for people that are coming here, especially when they're young. And you know, elementary, junior high, like that's especially how like young boys are.
Oh no, I mean,
communicating with each other and stuff.
You know, me and you, we're mean to each other, you know, but we know we love each other. You know, this is my brother. But the way it was done back then, that shit was malicious.
Oh yeah.
They were coming for my throat. As soon as I got off the plane, they were gunning for me. Like,
oh my god.
No, it was pretty bad, dude.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. But you know, I found friends who weren't ignorant and who actually wanted to learn about me and the culture and everything, you know. So it wasn't all bad.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't let a couple early years here affect everything else that I was gonna build.
Yeah, that's good, man. Good to hear. And I mean, obviously, I've seen that translate into your life, so you know, it's good to see that. And that's not easy for anybody. I got made fun of a lot being chubby and stuff, just fucking for anything, honestly. My hair, weight,
I was
clothes.
part of it.
Yeah,
You know, but we ripped each other apart.
that was like
you know?
that's like middle to end of high school. We're already boys at that point,
exactly,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
I'm talking about people in like late elementary, like mid, you know, early junior high.
We just met. Dude.
I don't
It's
even
the
know
first
you.
day of school.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, I don't know who are you? Yeah. So okay, that's cool. And so when did you start band? Did you start like right in elementary school, or was that in junior high? Did you start?
So in elementary school in 4th grade, my mom put me in orchestra. I played the cello
for nice.
a year.
Okay.
Maybe a year and a half. I don't remember really. But yeah, it was not too long. And then 5th grade came around, and I don't think I played anything. I played the recorder with everybody else.
Dude, you got to play the recorder in 5th grade?
You didn't? We had a music section of the school day.
I don't think so, dude. We
was
only
like-
had that like before I moved to Richardson. Like in Garland, we had recorders. We might have had them all the way up until 6th grade, but I stopped doing recorders like 3rd, 4th grade or something. I missed doing it. It was so fun.
I was on autopilot because I was fighting for my life, but I think the way it was set up was like Monday and like Thursday would be like PE,
yeah.
and then you'd get Tuesday for music, and then Wednesday would be art, and then Friday, I don't know, it was like a free day or something, something like that. But yeah, that's how it was structured. And then I actually started band in 6th grade, playing the French horn.
Okay.
Yeah, best choice of my life, honestly.
Nice. Do you feel like that was that kind of helped you with your transition, or were you already pretty adjusted by then?
Yeah, all the nerds together in one place.
Were you,
You
like
know?
more accepted in that, like in band?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
That's cool.
Because it wasn't about where did you come from? Who do you know? Or anything like that. It was like, how well can you play your instrument? And if you can't play well, let me show you how. It was more of a teaching environment. And not like,
trying to be popular.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Much less dog eat dog.
Yeah.
That's
more
cool.
like, if you need some help, give you the help. Let's grow. Like, let's get better.
Yeah.
Let's do this. We're in band. We got instruments. Let's play them.
And so the band life or the band culture, the marching band culture at our school is particularly strong, I would say, when you measure it up to other schools and other states and everything. How was your experience? You said it's the best decision that you ever made. Why is that? And what kind of experiences did you have, or what kind of changes did you have that make you feel that way?
Like you said, it's the culture. It wasn't just individuals like holding themselves up to a higher standard. Like, we all held each other up to a higher standard. It was like that singularity, I guess. It was like, we're one. We are the Berkner Band. Let's act like it all the time. This is what we're representing when we have on the uniform, or if we have our instruments or anything like that. So it was a lot of the culture, just being able to mesh with other people, who have the same mindset. They just want to play good music and have fun doing it.
That's pretty cool. And I'm sure the
teachers,
what's up?
the teachers were awesome too. Yeah, they always push towards independence and like autonomous learning. They didn't want to give you the answer. They would help you find the answer and give you tools to find the answer, but it wasn't, them answers.
Spoon feeding you. Yeah.
So that really helped a lot in my life. Being able to find the answer now instead of looking to other people to give it to me.
That's cool. Very nice. And I'm sure, like, just seeing my younger brother going through that process, like, a lot is demanded of you guys.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm sure that helps form not really like a trauma bond, but just like a very deep sense of camaraderie, because you guys are all sacrificing the same amount. Some people are sacrificing a little more to be there, but in the broad statement of it, you guys are all sacrificing the same amount to be there. You're all sacrificing something to be there. You're all putting in the work.
We weren't doing shit, dude. Shout out to every single band parent out there, because all we had to do was show up, and someone would show us how to play the instrument and do what we needed to do. Give us the tools. Everything was handed to us. Shout out the parents who actually went out and took their kids to band at 5 a.m.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me? 5 a.m.
I remember just being in shock, seeing you guys, just like awestruck, seeing you guys out there before the sun come up every day.
Yeah.
In that parking lot.
It's like the older people or the leaders had to be there a little bit earlier.
Right.
And so I would get there. I'd be like, Mama, Papa, we got to get there a little bit earlier, I just want to get there a little bit earlier. I want to be one of the first.
Yeah.
I get there, everybody's already there warming up.
Dang.
And it's like, that's the type of dedication that everybody had. I wasn't the only one feeling like, let me get there a little bit earlier so that I can, get a little bit better, I want to, get one step higher. Everybody had that.
Yeah.
It was like-minded people just going for it every single day.
That's really cool.
I was gonna say, and that just translates into everything that you do from there on.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I can see a little bit more why the instructors were so much more strict than what I thought was necessary at that time. But when you're saying, I had no idea that you guys had such a strong culture like that. That was, I knew that it was, you guys were determined and everything, but it's really surprising and cool to hear for sure. Do you feel like there's anything else that you really owe to your experience in band, or anything else that you take away from it, like in your daily life now? Obviously, besides knowing how to play an instrument, which is really cool.
I mean, if I picked one up now, I wouldn't be able to do much, but man, when I say almost everything that I do today, like, has some type of reflection from that, is because of the hard times that we went through, you know? Yeah, they were so hard on us, but it wasn't to the point where it was like abuse or anything. They were just showing us how life is, you know?
Yeah.
It was just like, be responsible, take care of your shit, and, you know, you'll be fine, you know? You have homework to do. If you're not good at something, what do? You practice it, you get better, you know?
Yeah.
And it's that, like, not shying away from that. It helps me every day. You know, if I have somebody that I need to call who, you know, might have cussed me out a couple days ago, but I know they're still needing some help, you know? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, like, dang, I gotta call this person, but I'm not gonna shy away from it. I'm gonna call them.
Yeah.
They need help.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm gonna get in there, get it done. Take responsibility. That's what I got into, you know, doing health advising for.
Yeah.
To be able to help people. So that's how that translates every single day.
That's very nice. I'm sure your old band instructors will be very happy to hear that too, and that, you know, they were able to instill that kind of stuff in you.
And I was I was not the best, you know. I was middle child my whole life. That's it. I wasn't the best. I wasn't the worst. But even though I wasn't the best, I still took it away.
Yeah.
You know, other people did too.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that's really, you don't need to be first chair or whatever to learn important life skills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I was still a lazy person back then. You know, I was a kid. But yeah.
All right. And so what's up?
I was saying striving to be better.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, speaking of striving to be better, so how did it go after you graduated, as far as getting into the workforce? Did you have any sort of like particular troubles or like any like obstacles or anything out the gate, or was it just kind of trying to find your niche?
I'm gonna be honest, it was not that hard. I went to a party at a lake house. I met Nate Beer, and then he got me my first job at taco joint.
Oh,
just as a busboy, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know how it paid any of the bills that I did have, which was almost none, but you know, even the ones that I did have, I don't know how I stretched it, but it worked.
Nice.
You know.
Okay. So how long were you there for?
Man, dude, that first job. I think it was close to 6 months.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice. And what were you doing after that?
I think after that, I was working at, Red Lobster for a little bit, yeah.
I remember that, yeah, with Ryan, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember how many months I worked there.
Nice.
It wasn't a full year though.
Well, I guess
Not long, actually.
Yeah, were you just kind of skipping around until you landed at Bella Green, or how did you end up at Bella Green, I guess?
Oh man, so Bella Green was 4 years ago. First job was a decade ago. I definitely skipped around a little bit. There was after Red Lobster, I started working at Tokyo Joe's. At Tokyo Joe's, I stayed there for like a year and a half, almost 2 years. After that, I went to Arizona with Stat.
Oh, that's right, yeah. How was it living in Arizona, or like moving away and living there?
I mean, if you saw my snaps,
Yeah.
you know it was amazing. I loved it. Being by myself, you know, there was always those days where, you know, you miss everybody, you're away from everybody. And, you know, a phone call is just not going to cut it sometimes, you know. You want that human interaction, face to face, you know, being able to talk to somebody instead of just hear somebody, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it. I loved it. Every day was awesome. I complain a lot about the driving, but it was nice, you know. It was just, you know, maybe
It's hot.
Yeah.
It was hot.
Yeah. And the first car I had didn't have AC.
Oh man.
It was a little bit cooler when I first moved there because it was like February.
Okay, you got a little bit of time.
A little bit of time, but then it got really hot, and then my water pump busted on that one.
Ooh.
So I was like, okay, let's just get a new car. Got a new car, and then worked there for a couple more months before I moved back here, working with the same company, and then worked with them for a year, maybe a year and a half more.
Oh, okay.
And then that's how I ended up at Belgrade. My sister worked there. She was actually the one who told me to come.
Oh,
and I was
okay.
like, crap. You know, I just left this job. Like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll come work with you. Well, actually, I was working as a swim instructor at the same time.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so I was working.
How did you like that job, by the way?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah?
You know, I feel like my whole life I've been in some type of customer service, because even driving, I was like third-party pharmaceutical.
Right.
So I'm just delivering medications to people, you know, taking care of them. And so it's always been some type of service. And yeah, I loved it, honestly. There were some kids that, you know, you just want to let them figure it out. Yeah, but
some kids you'll give a little more time to.
Exactly. But they were all great kids. It was a really great job. Took a lot from that too, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like in the future, when I have kids, I'll know how to teach them how to swim.
Oh, yeah, well,
Teach
for
them
sure, yeah.
Yeah, the life-saving maneuvers and everything. Had to get CPR certified for that.
That's right,
So, yeah, it's just a bunch of stuff that I learned from that job too.
Okay.
And dealing with kids, you know.
Yeah.
Just dealing with them. Victoria helped with that too.
Yeah.
My niece.
Okay. Nice. So, just knowing you grow up, you know, us growing up and everything, I would say, especially like your time at Tokyo Joe's and even at Bella Green, and just to give everybody a little context, that they've probably heard that name on this podcast a lot if they've heard all the episodes, and that's just a restaurant that John, actually, you helped me get a job there when I really needed one. Especially, I really needed a job at that time, and John got me in the door and got me working there, and made me realize how much I loved serving and everything. But
when it's done correctly.
When it's done correctly, yeah. Oh yeah. So it seems like you really. I saw you on a personal level. I saw you really come into your own. It seems like as you were working there and kind of developing your skills, developing your service skills, and just things of that sort. So, what kind of challenges, or what do you think kind of brought that out of you? Do you feel like that is true? That's accurate?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I first started there, you know, I was just another employee. I saw myself as just another employee. I didn't see myself as anything special. You know, every day I went in, it was like, do you get the job done? I was in Expo when I first started. It was just get the job done, go home, and, you know, collect that check.
Right.
You know, that's all I was worried about, just staying alive back then. When I became a shift lead, you know, that's when I kind of clicked, you know, like, oh man, I'm moving up in this. I should probably like start thinking about it, what kind of manager I want to be. And you know, as a kid, I took a bunch of leadership classes with Boy Scouts and everything. You know, so national youth leadership training and all of that stuff. So it was like I was picking stuff out of there. You know, be a leader. You know, not a manager. So I just that's what I think about. Anytime I have to be in charge of something, I'm a leader, you know. I'm learning just like everybody else. You know, every single day, every single person you interact with, you can learn something from.
Right.
So I just look at it like that. You know, I mean, if you'll remember, you know, I was the chill manager, but when I was there, you know, people were working. If I asked for something to be done, it got done. You know, unless someone was having a bad day, then that's not because of me or my leadership. You know, it's their bad day. And even then, I'd be like, hey, what's going on? Like, we don't need this right now. We're busy. Let's get it done. We can sort through the bullshit later. Yeah. So, and then once I became a AGM, the assistant general, that was really hard because I went from, you know, just a shift lead, you know, y'all are still my friends. I'm just the leader of the shift, you know. I just have to make sure everything gets done for the actual managers the next day. You know, I'm still...
So they're not breathing down your neck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But once you're the actual general manager and like you've been working there with all of the same people for this many years, it's like, what you have to find you know, like, why should they respect me? And I gave y'all a reason, gave everybody a reason. I was there every single time I needed to be there. I worked as long as I needed to work, you know. Took full responsibility for everything, you know, took care of my team. So that's just what I think is the best way to give someone a reason to respect you, is to give them the same respect. Like, I treated y'all like human beings and I expected you to treat me like a human being. But when it's time to grind and get down to business, like, we know exactly where we need to be.
Right.
You know.
That's cool. Yeah, and I always saw that in you, and you know, it really made me shine with pride seeing my friend in that position, especially when you got your promotion and everything, because I did see all of that in you, and I learned a lot. I took that with me to jobs in the future, learning what it is to be a leader and not a manager, you know, because there's things that I've tried to learn in my life and, you know, apply that, but it really helps seeing somebody that you grew up with and that you know well, and, you know, it's like outside, there's obviously stuff that we would, you know, if I'm working and you're working, I would never say to you while we're there, you know, unless it's just me and you. And it's cool that I don't even remember where I was going with that, but basically, it's just really cool to see that transformation with you in the place of work, and how you're able to keep that boundary with me too, you know what I mean? You're not making it weird for me trying to be too buddy, you know what I mean, with me at work, and then they're thinking, oh, Chris is the manager's favorite, teacher's pet, or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's really cool that you did that, and I could tell that I always called him the people's champ at work because like that's really, I never saw people, yes, they worked for you, but I would even go so far as to say that I didn't see people working as hard for anybody else as they did for you, because it changes everything when it's like a manager that's watching you, like you said, like that's just checking to make sure you're doing everything, this, that, and the other, versus it's like a boss, a leader that you respect, you know, you can look to, then you know they're going to take care of you, you know they respect you, you like them, and so it makes you work much harder, because then it makes the person think, okay, yeah, John's head's on the chopping block, so maybe I should do this, you know, right, you know what I mean? And just the respect part, I think, is enough to make a big difference. So that's cool. And another reason that I of course admire you. You're a close friend of mine, so I admire you for many reasons. But one of the things that still I look up to you quite a bit is the brave decision that you made to make that switch from sort of a set 9 to 5 to opening up your own business and starting your own business. And that's not easy.
It was hard.
It was not
hard.
easy for any field, any industry. And before we get into that real quick, I want to get into, because actually around the time that, it just reminded me, around the time that you were at Belly Green, you introduced me to a whole new depth of like astronomy, right? That, it's still stuck with me in like a lasting way. And I remember even back in like 5th and 6th grade, we would be learning all this really interesting stuff about the cosmos, and I would just be asleep, dude. Like I'd be like, this is so boring. I'm never gonna see any of this in my lifetime. You know what I mean? It's just I'm basically learning about these different colored rocks that are floating around. And but John really opened my eyes just from his passion. I was able to catch the bug, as it were, from the passion that you had with it. So can you tell me a little bit, just for any astrologers or astrologists that we might have in the audience, can you tell me about how you got into that, and how's your relationship with all that now and everything?
So Christmas, I think I was maybe like 11 or 12. My dad got me a telescope, and man, I fell in love with it. But I was so young, and man, when I was young, I wasn't even there. Like the John you're talking to now wasn't the John that you would have been talking to back then. I was so unaware of the value in the things that he gave me. So I didn't even know how to really use it, So it went to junk after a couple years. I used it a couple times, took it outside, looked at the moon, but it just fell off.
Right.
But I loved it. I really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know how, or even have the mental capacity to do it.
Yeah.
But then, what year was it? I think 2019. Me and Cindy were supposed to go on a trip up to Arkansas. So I got a little tiny telescope. I think something happened with weather and whatever, so we didn't end up going. So we took the little telescope up to Oklahoma, and like I actually used it in a dark sky,
Oh yeah.
I was looking at everying.
Oh, because at first you were probably just in your backyard and stuff too, right?
Yeah. Just looking at the moon. It's the moon. It's like the same moon you see. If you have a good iPhone, you can zoom in and you got the same thing as that little telescope. But going out to the dark sky, there's nothing else out there blocking any of the light. So looking at the stars, it caught me. I was hooked. As soon as I saw it, I was hooked. Started reading everything that I was slept through in class too. Just getting to know the sky. Printed out all of the star charts. Learned those. Trying to memorize all. How many trillion to the whatever power is out there.
I remember that always really impressed me too, because we would be out like just out for whatever reason, maybe having a campfire or whatever, and we would like kind of be poking at it. Oh, that's Orion's belt. No, this is that. And John's like, there's quasar number 45. Like this is the North Star. It's actually pointing in this direction. And blah blah blah. I'm like, dang, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can tell you did a lot of research. It really hooked you for sure. That's cool.
That's when I started buying all of the telescope equipment, like real equipment.
Yeah, okay.
Dropped maybe $4,000 in that over the course of like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Built that up, got the cameras and everything, started taking the pictures. It all got stolen.
Yeah.
So
very unfortunate. If you guys Well, we'll get to that later, but yeah, that's very unfortunate. I'm really sorry to hear that. I know that happened to me one time with all my photography equipment,
Yeah.
so I know the freaking hits you like a ton of bricks, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so
This episode of the Everyone's Celebrity Podcast is sponsored by Covermax. Take your coverage to the max. And by listeners like you. Thank you. Health coverage is hard to find, so don't. Let the professionals at Covermax stress it out for you. Give them a call, email, or text to schedule a free consultation with no commitment and no pressure. Covermax. Take your coverage to the max.
getting into the kind of healthcare stuff, kind of looping back around to that, like, what was it like starting your own business? I'm sure it was scary. You know, you're starting it from nothing. I remember you told me before, actually, you haven't had like a sales-oriented job like that before, right? It was mostly service.
Yeah, exactly. You know, working at a restaurant, people come in, they're hungry, like,
Yeah.
they don't even see you. That's why they treat people so bad in restaurants. They don't even see you. They're just there to get some food. They're hangry already, so they're just trying to get some food. The food is already there. You know, the cooks know how to make it. But with this, it's like, I'm the cook.
Yeah.
I'm the cook, and I'm literally making a menu specifically for you. You know, because two plans can be the same, yeah, but do those two people need the same plan?
Right.
Probably not. You know, you might have something, someone else is gonna have something, someone else is gonna have something. So you gotta make it specifically for this person, find the right plan for this person, you know? Because I'm shopping out there, I'm looking at all of the plans out there, and now I need to know, what do you need?
Yeah.
You know? Like, it'd be like showing someone all the health plans, right? And then they're looking for dental. What are they gonna eat? You know? But I have to build the menu specifically for this person. You know, the food I've got the ingredients, but now I gotta make it myself.
Oh, okay.
You know? So that was very different. Like, starting my own business and then having to build it myself. Very different, very different.
Okay.
At a restaurant, you know, they already got branding.
Right.
They're already expecting customers to come in every day, but got to do it all yourself.
Yeah.
And holding yourself accountable.
Do you feel like you're leaning on that stuff that you kind of got from like from your band training and everything a little more? Now that you're, like you said, you're having to hold yourself accountable. You're having to get yourself up and
different aspects for different things. Like, I have to, you know, no one's gonna call me and be like, "Where are you at?"
Yeah.
Like, why aren't you building your business? No one's gonna do that. I do that to myself every single day. So I have to hold myself accountable, and then kind of like, you know how loud the band was, right? You know, we always had to vocalize. So that's definitely translated into this, just being able to talk to people on the phone, like not even face to face. You don't know what this person looks like at all. You know, you don't know what type of day they've had right before you called, you know. So you have to be able to vocalize what your intent is, how you want to help, and be able to listen, you know.
Okay.
So different aspects for different things.
So how was your experience when you actually got started? Was it how was the training? Was it not too overwhelming? What was the most overwhelming aspect of getting started? Was it just the the financial pressure of it all, or is it?
Financial pressure is definitely up there. That would probably be like top 2, honestly.
Yeah.
Probably my own self-doubt, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I know exactly
that
what you
is
mean.
definitely the biggest thing.
Mm.
And, you know, it's like when you're talking to someone on the phone, a friend or something, you can always tell when something's amiss, something's not right, you know?
Mm.
So they can hear that.
Oh.
The first sign of doubt, and it's like, why should I even work with you again?
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like, are you sure you know what you're talking about?
Right.
You know, so it's like just being in the right mind state, right state of mind to guide someone else. Like if you're not guiding yourself, like, how are you going to guide someone else?
Right.
How are you going to show someone else what you think is going to be the right path for them? If you don't even feel like you know the right path, you know. So just having confidence in yourself, you know, and just know that you took the classes, you know, you got the license, you started the business, you know what you're talking about. So just do it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask for, do you know, for somebody else that might be considering this, or going through the same process to do what you do, do you have any like advice for getting through that training, or what they can expect?
Insurance
For that
specifically, or
just and, you know, because I know that there's a lot of different opportunities for insurance and stuff like that. Just
my leaders told me very early on, and I didn't listen for like maybe the first month. You know, I heard them, but there was so much jumbled up noise up here, I wasn't actually listening.
Right.
So they told me, leave everything at the door. You know, before you walk into the office, you can be whoever you want to be, right? You're the person who just crashed their car. You're the person who can't make rent, all of this, all of that. But as soon as you walk into the office, you're a health advisor. The people you're talking to on the phone, they've got problems too. They can't find health insurance. You know, everywhere they look, it's like another scam here, another scam there.
Oh my gosh, and it's so rampant when you're trying to do that. Yeah, because you do one survey and you are hounded for the rest of the year.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of the people that's hounding them don't have their best interests at heart. You know.
I had a dude today. It was either today or yesterday, and he meant to call my dad, but he called me, and as soon as he found out that I wasn't him, his whole tone, like everything was like, all right, get off the phone with me. Like, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yep.
Like, and it's like, well, shoot, man, I guess I'm glad I didn't even, talk
Try
to you.
to, you know, maybe I could have maybe transferred you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I hear stories about that all the time. It's like, you know, I personally can't. I mean, no one can work with Medicaid except the government, because it's, you know, it's Medicaid. So there's people who need Medicaid. They're trying to look for insurance and all of this that they can pay for, but they need to be on Medicaid. And they'll tell another agent something about, you know, how, oh, I can't afford regular insurance. I'm looking for like $10 a month, $50 a month.
Yeah.
And then they'll tell me stories about how they'll either just hang up or be. One lady said that when she told them about her situation, the person was like, "So why did you just waste my time?"
Oh my god!
And I was like, "What?"
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that can really kind of that'll shape your mentality into that.
What do you even? And that hurts everybody else who's actually trying to help, you know? I don't care if you need Medicaid. I'll show you the website to go to. I'll walk you through the application process, you know? No skin off my teeth. I'm here to help. So I do that all the time, you know? A lot. A lot, yeah.
Well,
from people from all over the country, you know?
I can't help but assume that's at least good karma, you know what I mean? Like, at the very least, and however that translates, you know, that can only be for your benefit, and doing what you think is right. You know, that can only ever turn out for your benefit.
I mean, I'm doing right now, I'm doing what I love, and I love what I do. So, I've always worked in the industry.
Right.
And so now I can help people and be self-employed. And
That's
I
really
love
cool. Yeah. Well, so I guess I do want to kind of get a little bit into the nitty-gritty of the industry, because I personally really don't know much about it, and I'm still I fit into that category of young adults that still like breaks a sweat calling in to get a doctor's appointment set, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm definitely in that category of people that need your help, and and personally, you've helped me so much make sense of so many things and compare different plans and stuff. So I can tell that you're passionate about what you do, you like what you do, and when we talked, you have a very clear understanding of how the different policies and everything work. You got all my questions satisfied really well. So like, what kind of like challenges do you see that when you talk to people, what are like some of the big common challenges that maybe somebody watching right now could be struggling with, either with like finding insurance or trying to change it or what have you? Or
if you're looking for insurance, don't fill out a survey. All of those ads that you see, that's like, dude, stimulus this, stimulus that. No, those people are taking your information and just blasting it out there to everybody. Even advisors get it. Yeah, but everybody else is getting it too. So now these people, one person sent me a text. She said it had only been an hour since she filled it out. She had 52 missed calls and 47 text messages.
Oh my gosh, man, that's
when
really...
I saw that, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not even gonna text you again. I literally texted her out, I'm just not gonna text you again. Whenever you're ready, just come to me. Because she was literally on the verge of cussing me out. So I was like, what am I gonna do with that?
For real.
I can't help someone who's already mad because
you're just another one of those calls at that point, right?
Unless you know who you're, or like myself, go to my website and actually put in that you want to, have a consultation. If you just start looking for quotes, everybody's gonna start blowing you up. Which is why it's so much better to have an actual advisor, an actual agent who can shop for you, who can look at all of the plans out there. I'm not just limited to Obamacare or anything like that. I shop private. I have referral partners who can do a lot of other stuff, life, all of that stuff. I can sell life, So find somebody. Even if it's not me, just find somebody. Save yourself the trouble. That
sounds like really good advice, because I can't imagine, or I can't remember all the times that I don't even remember, because it's like I've never even really shopped that heavy for health insurance or anything before.
No, you put in one. You put in one, just like trying to get info or something. Exactly. One quote. Sorry. And then now everybody's bombarded. Calling you. And if you weren't actually looking, now you're getting cussed out by some random person who just called you trying to help.
Exactly, trying to help. Help themselves.
Exactly.
Okay.
So find somebody you trust and ask them for help, Even if it's just information you need, give me a call. I help just with information if that's what you need.
And so how much is that? Like 50 an hour per minute, or like 50 per minute on the phone, or like?
It's nothing. It's free.
All right. Well, there you have it.
I wish I had known that health advisors were a thing back when I was actually looking. Back when I could afford it, working at Bella Green. Had a big boy job. I could actually afford health insurance. I didn't know how to go about it.
And it's extremely intimidating, because it's nothing but jargon. It's nothing but vocab that you already have to know to understand anything. And you don't even know what you're looking for.
Exactly. PPO, HMO, EPO. What spell did I just cast, right? Yeah, and did you know that Texas doesn't have any PPO plans on the marketplace? Yeah.
Not off the top of my head like that. No.
Exactly. So people go into the marketplace and they're like, oh, let me look up this plan.
Oh.
And then they're like, wow, that's so cheap. That's awesome. Now you have an insurance company telling you who you can and cannot see. Now you're limited to this specific network of people. This is the only people you can see. If you need to see somebody else, sorry, too bad, you see who we tell you.
Right.
And then, God forbid you get hurt if you're traveling outside of the state.
Oh.
Now there's no out-of-pocket maximum. You're screwed. There's a lady who had to be care flighted.
Oh,
like
goodness gracious!
One of my coworkers' clients was like $500,000.
Hey, man.
And she wasn't in her state, obviously.
Oh my gosh!
But she had a PPO plan. We got her on a PPO plan, so she didn't have to worry about it. It was covered.
That's great.
She paid her regular maximum out of pocket. The rest of it is covered.
Yeah.
And I'd rather pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 than $500,000.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. No, that's doing God's work out here, man. If you're saving people that kind of money from stuff like that, because I've heard of people having those kind of like one-off situations where they just get hurt out of state. Like, we're talking about this, and so it's reminding me, but in general, like, I always forget about those kind of like stipulations that they have. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of think about that with car insurance, maybe if you're in a different state, but you don't really think about your health insurance potentially being compromised because you're traveling somewhere or just in Oklahoma or something. It's like,
yeah, right.
Scary. Yeah.
I just drove 3 hours away, and now I can't use my insurance.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's good that you're giving people peace of mind like that.
Yeah.
So what kind of John stays very up to date on the kind of things that are going on in the industry, as he needs to. It's his job. So John, like, what kind of changes are you seeing coming up in the near future for the industry? And I know that we've talked about this before, but like, what kind of things are you trying to like let people know about before maybe it's too late? About their, insurance options. So
a couple things have been confirmed already. And obviously the general public doesn't know this, but I mean, it's out there. You could always find an article on it.
Advertising.
Yeah, not at all, of course, because it's not great. I mean, healthcare is all about being shafted. It's just how are you not going to get, how are you going to get shafted the least? That's what you're looking for. That's what I'm looking for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with the whole COVID thing, there's been not stimulus, not the way it was where they were giving out checks, but kind of like discounts on all of the healthcare plans. But that's over. We're back to normal. So starting in 2024, they are expecting a 8 to 10% increase in monthly premiums. Monthly premiums.
That's gonna suck.
Yeah, that's gonna really suck, especially for the people who got on, an ACA plan. Obamacare is all the same thing. Marketplace got on one of these plans because they were getting the subsidy. They were getting a little bit of a discount.
Yeah.
Now, where's that discount? It's going away. So now we're back to paying full price. You could have been paying like $500-$600 for a plan. You're probably going to be paying, back to like $700-$800.
Yeah.
Just depending on how you use it, what you're using it for, and that's, find an advisor.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is where you need to be, and that will give you the best bang for your buck. But
yeah, I was going to ask, is there any kind of like, I wouldn't imagine there's like a one-size-fits-all workaround or anything, but is there any sort of like workaround that people can kind of look for, or is that just kind of falling back on getting an advisor and just reallocating your where your money's at, and maybe looking at what options that you have and everything, and just kind of
What do you
trimming
mean?
the fat, essentially. Like, is there anything with that increase going up with the premiums? Like, is there any way for people to avoid that in any way, or is it the best way to avoid it is to get in touch with your healthcare advisor or with you, and have them you kind of look through and see, all right, maybe this isn't what we need, but we can use that money, and you just kind of shift stuff around to have it fit people's their needs a little better.
For the most part, if you get a marketplace plan, you're kind of stuck with that plan, right? So it's not going to be like, oh, let's customize this, make it yours. That's why I like doing what I do.
And when you say marketplace, what are you referring to?
ACA, Affordable Care Act plans, Obamacare, the plans that everybody can get.
Okay.
Those type of plans, it's like, take it.
Yeah.
This is what you got.
Okay.
This is your deductible. This is your maximum out of pockets. You're done. But I can shop private plans. I can see everything, I can see all the plans out there. So if I don't feel like going with a marketplace plan is the best option for you, I can shop the private option. Private options, you can customize those plans pretty nicely. When I was building your plan, I showed you how we can take money from here, oh, you only use your dental for this. Okay, let's cut down on that level. We can always upgrade that later if we need to. Let's put it over here.
Right.
Now you have more hospital visits, or not visits, but like hospital options. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess so. What specific plans are going to be experiencing that premium increase?
Dude, all of them.
All of them. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Across the board.
yeah.
Okay.
It's
So-
because the state was, kind of paying a little bit into it,
Right.
because of COVID and everything, trying to help people get back on their feet. It's gone.
Yeah. Well, it seems there's not a whole lot of other better times to get an advisor that's going to help walk you through those options at no cost to try to help you save money. Doesn't seem like.
I can't help everybody, but you can be sure I'm definitely gonna try.
Right. And even, just like you said, you're there for information, and it's
Call
even
me.
if you can't
Let me
help-
explain what a PPO is, how it works. Let me explain the HMOs and why you don't want them, or an EPO and why it's absolutely not what you want.
Because even if you don't have something for them, it shows them what they don't need, right? It shows them what they can't get or what they don't need, and they'll be one step closer, and they'll have a friendly face that's helping them get one step closer. As opposed
And if
to,
I can't help you, I can almost guarantee I know somebody who can.
Right.
Like I sit next to some of the best people in the industry. Their books, the number of clients that they have, and the number of clients that they keep, amazing. So I'm sure they've been doing it a lot longer. They probably have other people across the country who could help you, even if it's not me.
Yeah.
It's a network of people who are just trying to help people. Not all of them.
Right.
Not all of them.
Right. Yeah. But thankfully, the like vibes hopefully should attract.
And they do.
Yeah.
They definitely do. It's a great environment in the office.
Well, this is kind of a little more of like a hypothetical, I guess, just more of a silly question, but like, you being somebody that's actually in the industry and everything, I just wondered what kind of changes would you make, knowing what you know about the industry, how it works and everything? What kind of changes would you want to make, like, if you woke up and you were running the show all of a sudden with the healthcare and
Free healthcare.
That's what I'm talking about.
I put myself out of a job instantly if it meant that everybody could just go see a doctor when they needed to. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that would probably be the biggest thing, honestly, because I can't tell you how many times it's like I can't help somebody because they can't afford it, which is kind of the worst part about the American health industry. Not everybody, not even a lot of people can afford it, you know?
Yeah.
There's a select few that can, and even the people who can't afford it, I still want to try and help. I'll direct you straight to the application for Medicaid. At least you'll have something,
Yeah.
you know?
In this magical, sugary fairyland where healthcare is free, I would imagine that you would still have a lot of utility in that world, in that scenario. Like as an advisor, like even if it was free, people still need different plans and stuff like that, right? Or
I don't know how it works.
yeah, right?
I don't know how free healthcare works.
We need to ask some of our
I couldn't tell you.
Canadian followers.
That's what I was just thinking, yeah.
Somebody in, I don't know, Switzerland or something.
Type in the chat, let us know.
Maybe I'll have that as our poll. Just, are you Canadian?
How does it work?
How does it work? Please, somebody tell us. Okay, cool. So, yeah, what other advice would you have to somebody that's, you know, maybe struggling like that? Like maybe if has even tried to call an advisor and they're, you know, they can't find something that is affordable, or that maybe they can't find something that is fitting their exact needs, or maybe they want, I don't know, you know, something like that, something more customizable.
Oh, that's a hard one. You probably just haven't found the right advisor. You know, there's all types of things that people can do to help.
And that's kind of touching back to what you said, where even if you aren't specifically able to help them, there's somebody that you know that will, and that's really what.
Yep, there's someone up the pipeline, you know, that's gonna know what to do.
Okay. Well, it seems like that. Yeah, if you're looking for what kind of options that you're having, you know, it seems like the best place to start is just an advisor, just off the rip, you know. And
takes all the hassle out of everything, you know.
Yeah.
You don't have to do all this research. I mean, it took me weeks of you know, hard studying to get just to be able to pass the test, you know.
right.
Just to be able to pass the test. And then, you know, you have to do all of the studying for the actual plans. The studying you do to even be an advisor,
Right.
all you're learning about is like the laws, the regulations, and stuff like that, you know? And then you have to start learning about all of the plans, you know, like how they work, who gets billed when, what is an exclusion, and all of this other stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a lot. It is a lot. And, you know, it's been a rough road in the beginning, but just repetition and just keep going, you know, keep learning. But not everybody has the time for that.
Yeah.
So you definitely
Almost nobody has the time for it.
exactly. That's why they go online looking for quotes and then get blown up by 5,000
And then I'm like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah. Exactly. I didn't want to call. That's why I asked for quotes online. You know, but just rules and regulations, you have to have an agent. Or you don't have to have an agent. You can obviously find something yourself. But if you want someone to be able to look at some of the things that you can't see as an individual, part of the public, then definitely get an advisor. Because a lot of the time, they'll be able to save you money because you're out there getting all of these different things that you don't even need.
Yeah.
You think you need, but you don't even know that you don't need it. And now you're dishing out all this money because you listen to someone, you know,
And
someone who's not an advisor just tell you what to do, and now you've got all this stuff you don't use. You're paying these, your plan is not doing jack shit for you all year until December because you finally hit your deductible, you know. And now it's like, oh shit, it renews.
time to do it again.
Yep. I guess, you know, that month of benefits was great. Now my deductible resets at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
You know, like, get an advisor. Just get an advisor.
Okay. Yeah, so it can be sort of, you know, anything general, or related to, being a health advisor and dealing with people that need healthcare and everything, but is there anything that you want to kind of get out there to the general public, just in general? Because one of the things that I'm trying to do with the show is like give people the platform for influence that any celebrity would have, essentially, because I feel like everybody has something to contribute to making the world better, and I just kind of want to put a megaphone up to that, essentially. You know what I mean? So, do you have anything that, like I said, that whether it's in the healthcare field or if you're trying to, maybe convince some kids to be nicer to the foreign kid, or anything like that you wish that you could see more in the world of, or that maybe you want people to pay more attention to or pay less attention to, or anything like that. And you can take time on that too.
I guess just treat people how you want to be treated, honestly. Even if you're a masochist. If you're a masochist, then friggin' treat them how you think they want to be treated, Put yourself in someone else's shoes. Even if they don't fit, put yourself in those shoes. It is definitely going to change the way you look at life and how you interact with other people. And that goes for everything in life.
What do you think is like the biggest obstacle, or like what stops people from putting themselves in other people's shoes like that?
For me personally, I would say that it's probably like not being able to put myself in someone else's shoes is probably because I'm overthinking something in my own life. And so I'm not even thinking about them. Which, you got to do that for yourself sometimes too.
Right.
But I'm not going to go out there and ruin someone else's day, month, week, whatever, just because I'm feeling some type of way, So keep it to yourself unless you're getting help, and then just be nice.
What did you just say? Well, not like that, but I'm trying to kind of dissect something you just said. You said,
treat other people the way you want to be treated?
Yeah.
It translates to everything, even if you're a masochist. Overthinking is the reason.
Yeah. Why do you think, do you think it really is just like overthinking, as far as like just being in your own head and you're not? Yeah. Just.
you know what I'm like when I'm present.
Yeah.
So if I'm not like that, it's probably because I'm somewhere off in here figuring out some calculus, doing some math, getting things prepared.
It's almost, I guess in my mind, it's almost like a self-sacrificial thing to remember to put yourself in somebody else's shoes when you have a tendency to overthink. And I think that might be, I don't know if I would say like some people will be like hesitant, but there could be some like a lot of obstacles for people like that, because they're like, I'm just thinking about my own self, and I'm just thinking about what I got going on. Like, why should other people put themselves in the other shoes? You know what I mean? Like, why?
Well, one, to learn and grow. If all you're doing is walking your own path, are you really growing? Like, yeah, you're growing as an individual, but what about your other relationships? What about the way you interact with other people? Is that growing? If you're only thinking about yourself, how are you gonna grow a relationship with somebody else? Some people might be loners and not want to, but at that point, they're not hurting anybody else either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like you said, that's a whole other can of worms at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, all right. You got any Well, obviously, I'm sure you want to go ahead and plug your advisorship. I don't know what they call it. what is what is it actually? Is it a company? Is it a firm? What is the?
So it's a company. My company is called Covermax. Take your coverage to the max.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. My girlfriend Cindy actually came up with it. I
Oh,
love it.
nice.
Yeah, I love it. It's on my card and everything.
Nice.
Website coming out soon, probably in the next week. So if you want to, if you actually do want to talk to a advisor, you can covermax.me. Started it myself with a little bit of help. Nate is actually the person, Nate Beer. He's actually the person who got me into the industry. You know, he was like, hey, actually, it was really random. I hadn't talked to him for, maybe a couple months. And he called me up, he was like, hey man, what are you doing? Like, how you doing? We just started talking and he was like, man, I'm doing this. And really, that's why I called it, I think that you'd be great at this. And I was like, no. No, I'm so serious.
That is not what I was expecting.
No, I'm so serious. For like a year, I just kept saying, no, I'm good, Finally, I was like, sure. I finally listened to him, listened to what he was saying.
I was going to say, what made you...
I finally listened, finally got out of my head and was listening. And
got into somebody else's shoes, eh? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And so the things he was telling me, like, just, first of all, he said he's his own boss. I was like, oh, okay.
It's never,
You got me. Where do I sign up? But then, just listening to everything about how he helps people and the way that he helps people, and honestly, it's a lot of fun. It's, I'm ecstatic when I'm actually able to help somebody, and put them in a better spot than they already were. And they're so grateful, and it just feels amazing.
Yeah.
That might, that little high that you get when someone, compliments you,
Yeah.
it's like that.
Yeah.
But, you actually help them with something that could save their life down the line.
Yeah.
You
And I know just for me experientially, like when you helped me with my plan, it was at a point where I'm starting a new job. I got all this stuff on, I'm trying to get my car fixed. I'm trying to get this fixed. I'm trying to do this, do that. I have so many things on my plate, and to be able to, talking this with my wife about the healthcare, that's, stuff I got on my calendar and everything. And so to be able to outsource that to you at no cost, and hearing how you just wanted to help me, and you took so much pressure and stress out of the situation, you walked me through it all, just like that. I wish there were so many other things I could do like that with my life, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many other things, like I wish I could do that.
Like getting your car registered today.
Yeah, exactly.
If only someone else could go do it.
If only somebody else called all of the tax offices, did all the research, found all the you know what I mean?
Paperwork, had it ready, yeah.
Golly, yeah. So that's really an amazing thing that you're doing for people. And I'm not just saying that because you're my friend and I want to see you succeed. Like, I really think it's an amazing thing when people can find a job or a career that they're helping somebody and they're getting a good feeling at the end of the day, and you're using more of yourself than just pressing some buttons and being an automatron.
You really need to know who you're trying to help, because like I said, if someone doesn't need this and they're paying for it, why are you paying for it?
Yeah.
So you really need to get to know them. And for me, it doesn't stop once I help you find a plan.
Yeah.
Now, every time you have a claim, I'm fighting for you.
Oh, okay.
No, it doesn't just stop. I'm your agent.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you get off of the plan that I found you. I'll find you another one. Your situation changed, so I now know your new situation. So let's go find you something else.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
It doesn't just stop. Like Sam, I helped Sam find a plan too. I've had him as a client for a while now. You know, I still check up on him every couple weeks. You know, I'll be like, hey, you doing all right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's a friend, but you know, as an agent, you know,
Right.
during the day when we're both at work, be like, hey, how you doing? You know, still liking the plan?
Right.
Any
You're
questions?
not calling him, asking about his love life or
Yeah,
something.
no. That happens after I get home and I'm chilling on the couch, and then I'm just, hey, Samuel? Yeah, I mean, I check up on all of my clients every couple weeks. Just, how you doing? Still liking everything? Any questions? You need me to look up anything for you? You know? Staying in touch.
Getting people up to date.
And that's what kind of, you know, not every agent is going to do that, obviously, you know.
Yeah.
They did what they needed to do and they're done. But, you know, I don't want you to have to go find a new client or a new agent just because I wasn't picking up the phone or something like that, you know. So, got to stay in touch, got to communicate.
And like
I'm
you
here
said
for
earlier,
you. I'm your agent.
Yeah. Like you said earlier, it's about building those relationships, right? And so you gotta keep in touch.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Putting yourself in their shoes. You know, if you have a client who's going through something, do you think maybe calling them every couple weeks would help?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like that, you know? If someone was checking up on you, some total stranger who at first you thought, you
Just
know,
wanted something from you.
Just wanted something from you. Now they're your friend. I friend mine on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got all my clients on Facebook.
Send them the memes. At the very least, if if you don't even need healthcare, just talk to John. He'll send you some great memes. Just get in the circle. Yeah.
It's true.
All right. Well, you got anything else? I think that's.
No. Covermax.me coming out soon.
All right, and we'll get any kind of pertinent contact info in the description as well, so people can reach out to you. Any emails and phone numbers, stuff like that. People can reach out to you.
And please don't just sign up for something now that open enrollment is coming up, and you know, get stuck with it for a year. Find somebody, even if it's not me, find somebody to talk to. Parents, you know, sometimes they don't always know all the information on health insurance. My dad has an agent.
No.
It's not me, but my dad has an agent, you know? So, yeah, find somebody. You always gotta have somebody in your corner, you know?
We need to figure out some kind of like, what was the jingle? You said.
Well, there you have it, everyone. John Wilson. I hope you enjoyed this celebrity interview as much as I did, and you walk away with knowing something new. I know I did. Don't forget, open enrollment is November 1st. I had to look that up as I am not a professional advisor. But if you find yourself feeling lost in the search for coverage, or just need a friendly voice to answer questions without getting hounded and pressured by a salesman, reach out to John. All his links and contact info will be in the description. Next episode will be episode 10, the season finale of Everyone's a Celebrity. We interview a Ukraine war refugee, and he shares his harrowing story of escaping conscription to the front lines. Until next time, thank you all for your continued support, as this show would be nothing without you, the listeners. Help us grow our community of celebrities by sharing and spreading the word. But until next time, I'm Chris Wilkins, and you're a celebrity.